Little editing going on here. Yes, it is a Sunday, but just working on some stuff, cleaning up a project that I want to get out. I want to get it sent to the client no later than tomorrow. So, little window of opportunity. The girls have gone to pick up groceries, and so I'm going to work on that while they're gone. Today, Sunday, is mine and Annabeth's 12th wedding anniversary. And I will now share with you some pictures from that day that Annabeth pulled out of a drawer this morning. They're not in an album, but she knows exactly where they are. We were married in Vicksburg, Mississippi. That's Annabeth's hometown. She is an Ole Miss fan. She's an Ole Miss grad. She was the Ole Miss homecoming queen. And so there's always been a little irony in our relationship, a whole lot of fun that the Ole Miss homecoming queen married a Mississippi State QB. On our wedding day, she surprised me. Again, so this is 12 years ago. She surprised me at that reception by the Ole Miss mascot at the time, actually he was not the official Ole Miss mascot at the time in 2008. Colonel Reb showed up, but it was the mascot suit. And like her dad, my father-in-law, Winky, got the microphone and he stood up and he said, "Well, I've always been the man in her life, and I guess you will be now. But there's one who will always be a part of her life." I'm like, what in the world? And out comes Colonel Reb in the Colonel Reb suit on the stage where the band was. So I had to be a good sport about it. And I asked her, I said, "Why didn't you get the Bulldog from Mississippi State to be here? The Bulldog mascot." She said, "I called them and he was twice as expensive to get him here than Colonel Reb because the Bulldog is still the official mascot at Mississippi State. Colonel Reb's out of work and needed the work." She has requested on our anniversary things that she wants me to cook for her. Shrimp and grits for dinner. So we're going to try it. I've never done that before. Because on Sundays, what we do is a lot of times we'll have kind of a brunch meal for our family while we have our church service online. And she requested pancakes. And so I made pancakes for her.
It's bigger than
including the one on top cut in the shape of a heart. Oh my goodness.
Mama, we don't need any more of the filling.
Now here's the other thing that I wanted to discuss. College football, are we gonna have it? I just saw this pop up on Twitter just a minute ago. Tweet from Tony Barnhart. If the ACC presidents green light the 2020 season, the league's coaches could get their schedules as early as Wednesday of this week. That was tweeted today at 3:20 p.m. Look at Dabo. Let's see, it's a Sports Illustrated article over here. If ACC presidents approve moving forward the 2020 football season when they meet on Wednesday, the league's head coaches could receive their schedules on that same day, a source close to the situation. The athletic directors have been looking at several models. One, the current 12-game schedule, which will start on September 5th. That is considered to be the least likely scenario. A 10-conference game schedule, one non-conference game. This one provide the most income from TV. Another one, schedule of 8 conference games plus one non-conference with a start date of around September 26th. So he's saying those are the possibilities. They are all set to make a decision this week. Like it's going to happen this coming week here, the last week of July leading into the start of August. It obviously has to happen. That decision has to happen because practice is set to start, right? Everybody always starts practice leading up to a September start at the end of July and at the 1st of August. If they are going to be anywhere near ready to play an actual 4-quarter football game by the first weekend in September, then they have to start practicing now. If they're going to play at the beginning of September, they must start practice within the next week. D-Day, decision day, has come. It's not just for the ACC, it's for the SEC and everybody else. Okay, I am not jealous of the decision that they have to make. Local cities, counties, states, municipalities are really, really struggling right now with making decisions on sports and school. And the reason is because the numbers in a lot of places are climbing. In some places they aren't. But for instance, here in my state, where I live in Mississippi, the numbers continue to go up for coronavirus cases, COVID cases, and deaths. It hit a little close to home for a lot of people in this community here the last couple of days when we had a local person who worked at City Hall, whose family is from just right down the road. I go to church with my wife's grandmother, and my wife used to work with this person at City Hall. She knows her. She was not even 50 years old. She was in her late 40s. Went into the hospital with COVID, and within a couple of weeks, she died. Within the last 24 hours, she passed away. A young person who took every precaution and wore a mask, and was one of the last things she posted was that she was positive, but she was glad that she hadn't passed it on to any coworkers because she wore a mask every day. It hits close to home when that happens to a person in their late 40s. This is not trivial. This is not something to play with. Nobody in the medical community has a handle on. There is no treatment that is proven, and there is no vaccine. That's the reality. Back to the football part of this. But if you want me, and I'm going to end the vlog with this, if you want me to make a prediction on what I think the decisions will be this week, the ACC and the SEC will begin practice. It will be with the intent to begin playing football in September. I lean towards predicting that also they are going to play conference-only schedules. I'm a little on the fence, a little 50-50, because I know good and well people like Alabama really want to play a season opening game against somebody like BYU after USC canceled. They will be able to manage testing of athletes and team members and staff members a little more confidently if they are just dealing with themselves in their own conference every week as opposed to out of conference also. I could be wrong. We'll see if that happens this week. I believe we're going to find out this week that they are on go to begin practices and that they intend to play football in September. You will not have full stadiums in terms of capacity. Some stadiums won't have any, others might have half. That remains to be seen. They're going to play football. That's my prediction. They'll begin practice, and I think we'll get those decisions this week. Now let's see if I'm right or wrong.